What's up, everybody? Bootsy Greenwood here, and I want to talk to you about what people call waking up, okay? If you're new to spirituality or truth community type of ideas, then I want to say I think that you're onto something. I think you should continue your journey. If you felt like something about this reality is just a bit off, if you felt like there's kind of a hum in the background that's distant that you're starting to notice, something that you can't quite put your finger on, I think that you are on an amazing and inspiring path. And it's kind of an interesting time in the world right now to be discovering this because there's not a whole lot of time. So I want to see if I can sort of talk to you a little bit about this process, what it is, what it means to me, and maybe save you a little bit of time and headache. I went to school, I went to college, I was taught how to think about the world, and when I got out of college, I started to notice that things were not quite what I was being told when I was in school. I had this whole worldview, and things were just not quite lining up with the way that I saw the world. I thought this certain thing about human nature, and it turned out to not really be that way. There are a lot of, fibs about reality that we all believe and buy into based on our social conditioning, based on the world around us. We've been pretty well programmed to go along and not really question the nature of reality. So if you're questioning the nature of reality, that's great. I want to first of all tell you that you already have all the answers within you. But a little bit of help, a little bit of guidance, some books and things like that can always help out. I want to talk about these two sort of opposites, the two parts of who we are as human beings, our spiritual self, our spirit, the part of our essence that's eternal. This is truly connected to all of infinity and everything that is, okay? But we're also separate, right? And living in this physical world. So we are each individuals living our own experience, and we can't know anything beyond our own awareness, okay? So here we are in this physical world as spiritual beings, spiritual, eternal beings. So let's talk about this weird, creepy poster that I have stuck up here. This is the Anatomy Occultus, the occult anatomy. And basically, this is the Kabbalistic tree of life. It's the Jewish tradition, I guess, is the tree of life, a Kabbalah. But there's also the chakra system here that it lines up with. And all of these ideas really translate to other ideas, whether it be Sufism or Transcendentalism. All of them basically have a lot of the same concepts. The whole point is to resolve the opposites, right? If we really wake up, we have put the yin and the yang together, and then we follow this middle path here, okay? Now, what's the yin? What's the yang? Well, the yang is masculine, okay? It is represented by this left-hand side of the body. You'll notice that it's chained here to this pillar, and it is the logical, more physical world. This is the masculine, the yang aspect, okay? This is where we are going through society and, this is this way, this is logic, this is science, we can test this, we can see how this works. Most of us live very far over in this world. Most of us have been trained to listen to the five sense realities. Okay, I'll also put that over here. The five sense reality over the reality that we're experiencing on the inside. Now, spirituality is really about understanding what's going on the inside. A lot of spirituality could be reduced to emotionality in a lot of ways. Now, I don't want to oversimplify this because there's a constant recurring feedback loop, okay, between these two worlds, heart and mind, okay? Let's put mind up here. That's the yang aspect. Heart here. That's the yin. aspect or the feminine, okay? And these have nothing to do with gender, by the way. They're just a way to symbolize things, okay? Masculine energy, feminine energy, we both have both of those things. The masculine is really about observing, being able to see. It's that constant awareness. It never goes away. Even though our bodies have reproduced new cells over and over and over our entire life, some part of our awareness remains completely static. And that is the masculine aspect, the individual aspect, okay? And then on this other side, we have this feminine, this watery, emotional, feminine part of us, where we're all one. And this is the part of us that ties us into infinity, okay? Infinity. This is where we're connected through spirit to infinity. Okay, and so I'm using a downward triangle to represent the feminine, and an upward triangle to represent the masculine, okay? And so our idea, again, is to resolve these two hemispheres of what we are. The union of opposites, it's called, okay? Now, internally, we are learning, and we have a different process of learning internally. Internally, we feel what we call an intuition. Internally, we feel, oh, this doesn't seem like a good situation. I feel uneasy, which is a huge sign to get the hell out of there, right? There's also very obvious signs in the physical world. Oh, look, those people are robbing an old lady. Let's get the hell out of here. You know, so understanding the idea is to bring these two worlds together. So often we are in what they call cognitive dissonance, okay? And that's where we believe one thing or feel one thing, but are told another, and we can't resolve these two things. It's a dangerous place to be. And it takes time to figure out the resolution here, okay? But I just want to give you guys a quick overview of this and how they should all line up. Now, on the right side of this body here, we have these feminine aspects, and then we have each one of these chakra systems that are going up all the way up to the top, where it's like really connected up, to everything else. That's why I say this is really where we're connected to everything and where we are all one. But over here, we're also one. We're separate, okay? Separate, inseparate, part of everything. I don't even know. United? Yeah, let's go with united. I like that. It sounds good. It sounds strong. So united. So a lot of people are saying, oh, you got to wake up. Wake up. And what they mean is that you got to wake up and look at all the social control that's going on. And there's plenty of it. Everything that we watch, everything that we see, every billboard, every advertisement is designed to make us think a certain way. And that's not necessarily always intentional by some powers that be. It goes down, it all rolls downhill. But generally speaking, it's set up for us to want to buy something, which is set up for us to feel inadequate. These are the ways. There are psychological triggers that marketers use to actually make you feel like you need to buy something. So our whole lives we've been told we've been inadequate. Our whole lives we've been told many, many things that we're powerless, things like that are not true. And that if we spent money with so-and-so, or if we did this thing over here, then, at that point we'd be fulfilled. And how many times has that been a wild goose chase? Every single time. Really, the only thing that's going to create lasting fulfillment is to resolve the opposites. So to understand these principles, even though they are diametrically, seemingly opposed, everything is a paradox, okay? So on this side, we've got more like a free will, okay? And on this side, we've got more like determinism, okay? This is where we take intuition into account, and this is where we make decisions, okay? So mental world, physical world. They're both part of each other, okay? All is everything. So this is connected literally to everything. And then this is speaking about the way that we learn about our physical world. So a lot of people are saying, you got to wake up, you got to figure out what, blah, blah, blah. Other people are saying, oh, you got to wake up, you got to realize your true power, you got to figure out, who you are as a person. And they're both true, and they both take a lot of work. But I want to focus on this side of this because this is where we really lack the most. Okay, we're far over in this side, on this side of the spectrum. Okay, we live in this world, this very dense world, and we're told how it works, and this is how it's going to go, and this is logic, and blah, 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 blah. And it just becomes this regimented pattern over and over and over. The feminine aspect of us, though, that's where creativity lies. That's where we are connected really to all that is. And within this, we have a very clear knowing. This is where we find our truth, okay? So wherever you're at, I really advise you to get clear here by looking into your heart. Take some time. Meditate. Take a walk in the woods. Stand in the grass with no shoes on. Look up at the sky. Allow yourself to be quiet and to just listen, because truly this is where that deep knowing that passes knowing exists. And it's something that has to be cultivated and developed over time. In one of my favorite books, Reality Transurfing, Vadim Zeland talks about what he calls the rustle of the morning stars, okay? Meaning that it's like this inner voice that speaks to you, right? Like, I think that's a very beautiful way to put it. It's a very poetic way. But really, what is that? Rustle of the morning stars. Okay, the morning star is going to be the brightest star in the sky. We know this. But a rustle is a very soft sound. Leaves rustle, okay? So this isn't necessarily easy to hear. You have to cultivate your awareness here to hear it. And then we need to resolve it here too in the physical, and take the action steps and do the things necessary in the world that are going to create and cultivate a better world, okay? So resolving these two worlds. And when we do that, we become aware of our true selves, which is really what spirituality is about. Because if you can make the mind happy, if you can make the heart happy and filled with joy, and give the mind a task that it is very good at doing, then you will resolve the opposites. So all esoteric or spiritual literature is really about one thing, and that is resolving the poles, masculine and feminine, bringing these two worlds together so that they are congruent and in line. And at that point, we can really make some big changes. So folks, if you're out there and you've been thinking about things and you're like, something doesn't make sense, well, keep on keeping on. Do what you got to do. I've got a lot of different videos and series about this. I recommend, if you're just learning, check out Self-Reliance. I thought it was like how to farm or something. I was like, what is Self-Reliance? By Ralph Waldo Emerson. I have the audiobook on this channel. I recommend that highly, and I'm going to make a video detailing some of the ideas in that book, which, some of it we've already gone over. But anyway, that's what I've got for you guys today. I hope you're all doing well. Hit me up with questions, comment underneath, and I'm happy to answer any of those questions. You can also find me on patreon.com/Bootsy Greenwood, where I put out usually a podcast a week and extra bonus material, release exercises, different things like that. So if you like what you see, please like, subscribe, share, and all that YouTube nonsense. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.